Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring the scripture Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Commentaries by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So today we are starting chapter number 3, also known as Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. So let's read a brief summary. In the absence of proper insight, karma or action gives rise to bondage. But when one performs action selflessly, also known as Nishkam Seva, without expectations, detached from its fruit, in the spirit of surrender to God, and with a profound insight into the nature of the self, the same action is converted into Karma Yoga. The word yog comes from the root letter yuj, which means to unite. So karma yoga means uniting with God by performing our actions in a selfless manner. So it's a purifying process leading to liberation or freedom from the cycles of birth and death. So shloka number 1, Arjuna Vacha जायसी चेत कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Krishna, if you say the intellect illumined with the light of wisdom is superior to the path of selfless action, then why do you lead me, O Keshava, to the performance of terrible karmas or actions? So, deep question, because in all the previous chapter, Lord Krishna has guided Arjuna on the characteristics of a self realized sage and the knowledge component. Moving on to Shloka 2, he asks, um, Arjuna asks, Vyame Shrenev Vakyena Buddhim Mohayasiva me Tadekam Vada Nishchitya Yena Shreyo Ahamapnuyam. So Arjuna says to Lord Krishna, by your apparently conflicting statements, you are confusing my intellect. Therefore, please tell me definitely which path will lead me to the highest good. So Arjuna is in a deluded state, so he is not seeing clearly yet, because there are more than one ways to get to the end results. Like different religions we practice, all take us to the same one God. And here also, integral yoga, um, God is saying, when we do selfless action or devotion or wisdom or meditation, all these holistically take us to the same one God. But Arjuna is not at that point to understand that. He is simply thinking renouncing is the way, is the superior performance of his thinking process. So Lord will clear all these doubts one by one. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Shloka number 3. Loke asmin nidvidha nishtha pura prokta maya naga jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. So Lord Krishna replied, O sinless Arjuna, since ancient times I have taught two paths, the path of knowledge for those who are qualified for Sankhya, which is attainment of Brahmakara Vitti or intuitive revelation of the self. So, this is the higher components of the Upanishads, the wisdom of deep mystical insights, but that takes a different path altogether. And then there is the yoga of action, for those qualified for action. So, not everybody is qualified for the path of wisdom, as it takes intense knowledge and self effort, whereas action we all do. Everybody has to do action, and yet God says there is a way to come to me through that also. Lord continues, Shloka 4, Na karmana manarambhan neshkarmya purusho ashnute na cha sanyasna deva siddhim samadhigacchati. By merely performing action, one does not qualify himself for the path of knowledge, characterized by the renunciation of all actions, nor does he attain perfection or self realization by the mere act of receiving the vows of renunciation. So, God is saying these terms are apparently not so simple to, they seem simple, but they are not so easy to understand by an average person. It is deeper than that. Just external rituals, external symbols and signs are not enough for one to get enlightened. So he continues in Shloka 5, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karma krita karyate hayyavashah karma sarvah prakritir jay guneha. No one can stay without action even for a single moment, says Lord Krishna. Naturally, because our mind is thinking, we are breathing, we are doing, we are eating, we are walking, talking, all the time we are doing some action. So God says, actions continue even during our sleep. We have dreams, and that is action. Thinking is action, etc. The gunas are born of prakriti. The gunas are the three gunas of sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva being purity, rajas activity, tamas inertia. They are all born through attachment and hatred. They impel a person to constantly perform action whether they like it or not. That is the nature of what we have to do in this human body. So, most people have to do, not most, everybody has to do actions. That is the essential teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Moving on to Shloka 6, Karmendriyani Sanyamya na asna ya aste manasa smaran इंद्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याभिचारः स उच्यते. It's a deep shloka. Lord says, those who have restrained the organs of actions but continue to think of the objects of the senses are foolish and hypocritical. So, in other words, just giving up of objects externally is not enough, because the internal attachment continues. Until that is eradicated, the problem will continue to occur, like pulling out a weed but not pulling out the root. So the weed will come again and again. So that is what God is trying to explain here in this example. Moving on to Shloka 7, यस्त्वे इन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारम्भते अर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियः कर्मयोगमसक्तः स विशिष्यते. O Arjuna, one who has restrained his mind and senses and engages his organs of action in the performance of actions enjoined in the scriptures, he is far superior to the farmer. So, here this is what God is saying in the previous sloka. People who are externally giving up things, they may look like mendicants or elevated saints, but internally they are still thinking of those objects. So, here God is saying, uh, they are not so superior compared to the ones who are doing these things by restraining their mind and senses, and are following the process in a ethical clean way without getting impacted. So follow the path prescribed in the scriptures is the essential guiding guidance here by Lord Krishna. So that is what is required, not just external symbols of spiritualism or thinking we have conquered our senses. It is not so simple. It takes a long time effort, constantly working on it, and then following the scriptures makes it a lot easier, because that guides, the scriptures guide us, but not by themselves. Therefore, we need satsang, we need qualified teachers, and then if we have questions, we get clarification from them. Shloka number 8. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jayo karmanaha sharira yatra picha tena prasiddhayed karmanaha. Therefore, perform your duties in daily life, for action is better than inactivity. So, Lord Krishna strongly reminds us that don't be lazy, don't be inactive, don't procrastinate. Continue to do your actions. By being inactive, you cannot even maintain the needs of your physical body, which is very appropriate, because we need to earn to make a living so we can buy food and eat, etc. So we always have to be thinking of being active. So with this we conclude our satsang for today, and tomorrow we will start from shloka number 9 for chapter number 3, which is a profound chapter of karma yoga. Karma meaning action. Hari Om Tat Sat.